Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal struggles having borderline personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. I talk about narcissism and schizophrenia, and I wrote a book, Life with My Schizophrenic Father, up here. I talk about my unethical psychologist who sexually exploited me and abused me in therapies. I've had sexual affairs with for years, and those books are here too. Love Outside the Boundaries and Emails of an Unethical Psychologist and Love Bombed. All the links to these books are available down below in the description. They're all available for purchase on Amazon. The one thing I want everyone to know before we begin is I'm not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you or give you a professional opinion. And all I ask in turn of you is your kindness and respect in the comments. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit that subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner down below. That way you will be notified each and every time a new video of mine comes out. Please give it a thumbs up, like, and share my videos with everyone, with your family, your friends, on your social media platforms. Please share. Let's spread the love. Grow this community. I want to hear from you. Your thoughts and opinions. Your own personal struggles matter. And I will always respond to each and every comment that comes my way. Today we're going to talk about narcissists flying monkeys. Now, I've done many videos on narcissism. I have a whole playlist of only narcissistic personality disorder. Today we're going to talk about flying monkeys. Now, first of all, how many of you have never heard the term flying monkeys? I haven't either. That's why I was so interested in it. Flying monkeys, what is that? Think of the Wizard of Oz. Now, everyone has heard of the Wizard of Oz. The new movie Wizard is out. Remember the flying monkeys in that movie? Now, the Wicked Witch is the Wicked Witch of the West. She is the narcissist, all right? And the flying monkeys, she manipulates them to do her bidding, all right? So they're like pawns in the game. But they're not always innocent pawns, all right? I don't want you to think that these flying monkeys are innocent by any means, all right? I'm going to give you a perfect example of what flying monkeys are. Now, when my son was severely beaten, I have an invalid son who can't, he has traumatic brain injury from an illness he got at 4 years old. He has limited language. He can't go to the bathroom by himself. He can't shower himself. He can't brush his teeth. He has the mentality of a 2-year-old. He's an invalid. He needs help bathing. He needs help with everything, going to the bathroom. So he needs assistance around the clock here, 24/7. He's on heavy medication. He's a very sick child. I've done many videos about him, but I also told you in some of those videos that he was severely beaten by a staff member at his place. The staff member was narcissistic. If you know what narcissism is, they love to watch people suffer. They have no empathy. The number one thing about a narcissism, no empathy. They just use people for power, for their own ego. They have absolutely no care about anyone except themselves. They're self-centered, selfish. They don't care about you. They just use people, and they have no feelings for you. And this monster who beat my son, and he had to be hospitalized, the police were involved. It's been 3 years, and now they pushed the trial date to March now. It was supposed to be February next month. Now it's March. Yeah, it's been a living fucking nightmare for me, to say the least. But he wasn't the only person. They fired him, of course, but they also fired other people. Now, my son Alex is out of that place. He's in a new residence, all right, that we like very much. He's not there anymore. They kicked him out. That's another story. But the one that beat my son was like the Wicked Witch of the West. The other people that they fired didn't lay a hand on my son, but they cooperated with the man that beat him. So in other words, how did they cooperate? They were the flying monkeys, not the man who beat my son. He was a narcissist. The people that looked the other way and saw what he did and didn't speak up, when they had a full investigation at that place when my son was beaten, and they talked to people and they didn't speak up and they acted dumb, they got fired too. They were the narcissist flying monkeys, all right? They were in control and manipulated by the narcissist. They did the narcissist's dirty work. Well, how do you think the narcissist got to do? He tortured my son before he was caught beating him up. He tortured him. I don't want to go into the details because it's just not what I'm trying to get at this video. But it's the other ones that do the dirty work and the bidding, the cover-ups, cover up what the narcissist is doing, turn the other way, or even work in favor. Enablers. They're really enablers, flying monkeys. They do the bidding, the dirty work for the narcissist. They're enablers like these other staff that didn't beat my son. They enable the person who did beat him to continue working there and continue torturing my son. And all sorts of, he tripped him and my son broke his ankle. I mean, it was horrendous, the abuse, but there was no one to prove it. Because why? Because of the flying monkeys. They enabled the narcissist to do his dirty work. They're just as guilty. They were enablers, okay? Even though they didn't do anything, they didn't say anything, all right? So not saying anything and not taking action is allowing my child to be abused, and they were fired too. There's a lot in the workplace, flying monkeys. The boss is the narcissist. The flying monkeys are the people that, do his bidding, just like the wicked witch of the West. Those flying monkeys, she sent them out to do her bidding, right? So this is something new to me too. Now flying monkeys aren't just in the workplace. I gave you those examples about my son. Flying monkeys can be your friends, in your group of friends, or in your family. It's in a group of people, all right? There's one ringmaster, okay, who controls everything in the rings. One ringmaster. The ringmaster is the narcissist. He manipulates other people. Now, these people who he manipulates can also be narcissists, but not always. They can be very vulnerable people who goes along with the herd. They have no voice themselves. They're scared. They're scared shit of the narcissist. They're afraid, like that they'll be disowned. Like in the case with my son, they probably were so scared if they spoke up, they would be fired and lose their job. But they were fired anyway. So you see what I mean? What's the point? I'd rather have a conscience and sleep at night and be fired. But the ironic thing about that is they were fired anyway. Because, word got around that these people obviously knew things and were like not speaking up. So it happens a lot in families. It happened to me in families where there is one person who's narcissistic, and then other people will go along or support that narcissist because they're afraid. Think of like a nasty mother, because my mother was narcissistic, but I had no siblings. But imagine if I did have siblings, and they went along and they took the side of my mother, and if my mother hurt me or abused me, they would just support what my mother's doing in fear of, maybe they were be afraid of losing their inheritance, or there's lots of different reasons. Maybe they're just But this happens in groups of friends where one is the ringmaster, one is the ringmaster, the controlling one, the narcissist, like the Wicked Witch, think that. And the rest of the group are the flying monkeys. So say there's a group of friends and I'm jealous of Mary, okay? And I don't like her. Mary always gets all the men. Mary goes to the top colleges. She has the best job everywhere. She's everything wonderful and good in the world is Mary's, and I get the shit end of the stick. So now I'm narcissist, and I want to, I want to hurt Mary. I want to go after her. I don't like that she's top notch and everything. So I get my group of friends and I spread nasty rumors about Mary, and I get them to turn their back on Mary along with me, so that Mary now is no longer welcome in, and this happens in families too, in the group, or that person is no longer welcome in the family because the narcissist turns everyone in the group against that person, all right? So she's ostracized. So she has no friends now because the ringmaster, the narcissist, will turn everyone against her, either whatever they'll say. They're very charming and very convincing people, narcissists, okay? I've already done videos all about them. And they can charm the panties off a woman, okay? So people believe them for some reason. People are so insecure, and people will, feed, like putty in their hands, just feed off their hands. So if the narcissist, spreads rumors, dirty rumors, and they'll follow along, and then they'll become the narcissist flying monkeys. It's like, have you ever heard, when I grew up, I heard about, it's called making spitballs. That someone makes the spitballs and the other person fires them, okay? So the person that makes the spitballs doesn't get in trouble, but the person that fires them out of the straw in the classroom, they're the ones who get the detention, okay? But they're not the ones that were coaxing and making the spitballs behind the scene and coaxing the other one, to do the deed, the dirty work. That's another example where children can be flying monkeys because they want to fit in. Why? You want to fit in. You don't want to go against the group, all right? You want to be liked. A lot of people are flying monkeys because they're busybodies. They're eager to get involved in the drama and the excitement. It stirs the pot, like when spreading rumors kind of stirs the pot. You're working all day, it's boring, and spreading dirty, nasty rumors. They're troublemakers, and troublemakers. Like I said, they like to stir the pot. They like the excitement. Or they could just be very loyal and faithful to the narcissistic person and believe, put them on a pedestal and believe they are God, and whatever they say is word, man. Have you ever heard that? Word to your mother. Like whatever they say is word, and they're so afraid to ever go against it. You could have a matriarch of the family, like the narcissistic mother. Luckily for me, I did not have siblings growing up. I was the only child, so I didn't have that situation where there was flying monkeys, all right? But in a way I did. In a way, my father was a flying monkey because my father was privy to all the abuse my mother did, but he was mentally sick, so he wasn't like a healthy, mentally stable man. But my father used to tell me this. He used to say, because I asked him, why did you let mom do all that to me? And he goes, well, I'm a man. I didn't know anything about raising children. And I just figured let her take care of it. That's his exact words. But my father wasn't mentally right. He was in mental hospitals all my life. But that's his answer to me when I said, why did you let mom do all that to me? And he said, well, I thought it was her job to raise the children. Well, I was only one child. It's a woman's job to raise the children. And the woman can think that too of a narcissistic husband. They can, a lot of times, Men are usually the ones in the past, in my era growing up, where they take off the belt and beat the child, and the mother, you know, don't do anything, doesn't interfere at all, just let 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 them do it, because thinking the father is the disciplinary one in the family. Usually in every family, there's always one disciplinary person, all right? And it could be just like that, where they just say, okay, you know, or they could be so scared shit themselves. Jesus, better they beat them than beat me. It could be something like that. But I think you kind of like understand the gist of what the flying monkeys does, the bidding of the narcissist. It could be they're, you know, narcissistic themselves, that, or they could be frightened and scared, or afraid that if they don't do what the narcissist wants them to do, that they will be, you know, kicked out of the family, kicked out of the group of friends, be by themselves. A lot of people are so scared. They want to fit in so badly with their family or with their group of friends or at work. They don't want to lose their jobs. So if the boss is saying something, oh yeah, they have to agree with the boss, and you know, they don't want to lose their jobs, and they go along, and they become pawns. They become pawns in the narcissist game. So that was an example. I think I have another example I could give you about when I was sexually abused by my psychologist. We could call Dr. Richard Geist. If you read this book, Love Bombed, by a Harvard psychologist, he could have been a flying monkey with my other psychologist, Dr. 𝗵𝒂𝒗, in this book, Love Outside the Boundaries. He could have been a flying monkey where he just went along with what Dr. 𝗵𝒂𝒗 was doing, because I think the truth about Dr. Richard Geist, a lot of people have told me their opinion was he's a dirty old man. He didn't report Dr. 𝗵𝒂𝒗 for having sex with me. It's unethical and it's illegal. In half the states, it's illegal to have sex with your patient because I cannot give consent, because they are a doctor in a power position, and I am a vulnerable patient because I have such severe mental health issues that I could not give consent because of my mental health issues. Much like my son, who can't give consent even though he's going to be 30 this summer. And he has the body of a full-grown man, but he can never give consent to sex because he has the mind of a 2-year-old. He's an invalid. He's, you know, he can never give consent. So even if someone his age has, you know, sex with him, they would be that would be called statutory rape, just like it is with the psychologist. Even if he doesn't put a fight up against it or doesn't say no, it would still be statutory rape, and they still go to prison. So you could say that Dr. Richard Geist was a flying monkey. He was an enabler in my unethical, immoral sexual relationship with Dr. 𝗵𝒂𝒗 right here on the cover, because he enabled it. He didn't report him. He saw us both for couples therapy while I'm married and have children, and he is trying to help this relationship. He encouraged the relationship with Dr. 𝗵𝒂𝒗. He encouraged me to have sex with him. He was an enabler, and he didn't say anything against it. He supported it. So in a way, in that circumstance, he was a flying monkey. He was supporting one of his own being another psychologist. He was taking the side of another psychologist who was narcissistic. He was very narcissistic. And he was supporting it and enabling that relationship to continue, instead of what he should have done is report him to the licensing board. But if you read my book, Dr. Richard Geist himself was a narcissist. So he love bombed me in the beginning, all those things. So, but he also was an enabler. So that's what the flying monkey's about. Think in your family or your group of friends or at work. Can you think now that you know what a flying monkey is? Has there been any flying monkeys in your life, at work, in your family, in a group of friends, or even with lovers? Or let me know, okay? Because this is all new to me. I didn't know too much about flying monkeys. I heard about it, so I researched it, and I said, Jesus, now I understand it, and I could, I could pick out the flying monkeys in my life now that I better know. So let me hear from you on your thoughts, your life experiences surrounding flying monkeys. And did you see the movie Wizard? I did. I wasn't too thrilled about it. To tell you the truth, I really didn't like it. It was too much music, and it was too long. And it just, I'm old-fashioned. I don't like remakes or anything. I like the original, with Judy Garland. I'm just an old-fashioned girl. Maybe it has to do with my age, but I didn't really like the movie, and I don't know if I'll see the sequel, Let me know if you saw the movie. Let me know what you think about it. If you like the movie, if you like the original with Judy Garland better, I did. Much, much better. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.